Hey guys, this is SD Links from our Spider forums. I just wanted to give you a quick video to show you the difference between installation of the Sila Concepts turbo blanket compared to the stock heat shield on my Abarth 124. I'll show you the Abarth 124 first, since this is stock, and what you'll have to do to prepare for the turbo blanket. First, you're going to have to remove the engine cover to get to the bolts that you need to remove. This one you'll need an open-ended wrench in order to get to that. These other ones you might be able to get to it with the socket. Once you get the bracket off, you're going to have to go to removing the heat shield. You need to remove the heat shield before you put the turbo blanket on. It's going to go in place of that. Now, take a look at the heat shield itself. You'll notice that it doesn't cover all the way to the back, which the turbo blanket, as I'll show you, does. It also sits right on top, so there's a little bit of space where a lot of air goes through, and also heat comes out. And what I noticed, and the reason why I went with the turbo blanket, was that it was getting very hot. I do track one of my cars, so when I do that, it was getting so hot that I was noticing that it was negatively affecting the wires and the rubber that's around the turbo. So I was really worried about that, and so I started seeking out the turbo blanket. So let me move over to the other car. So I removed the cover so you can take a look. As you can see, the turbo blanket sits in place of the heat shield. The turbo blanket does wrap all the way right about here where my fingertips are, and it ends there, but it wraps all the way around it, which is nice. It keeps it nice and covered, nice and snug. It also tucks in between the engine and the turbo. So you can see that a little bit back here. You can see how it tucks in and it wraps around. That keeps a lot of the heat isolated underneath the blanket, keeps the other area a little bit cooler, which I noticed it does a really good job of that. Now, one of the negative aspects, which we were talking about on the forum, is the fact that this does smoke quite a bit when you first put it on. And what I did, I've had turbo blankets before that smoked like this, and that usually took a few days of spirited driving, I guess you can call it, to get rid of that smoke. And that's what I did. Is after I got it installed, I went ahead and took that for a drive. Took this car for a drive, and had some fun with it. It did smoke quite a bit, and it left a bit of a white residue. You can't see it here because I cleaned up most of it. I did leave some on here before when I cleaned it. I inadvertently left some. You can see it there. I meant to clean that and I missed it, but that's about what that residue looks like. But you can take a moist paper towel or whatever you want to use, and it'll come right off. So there's no long-term effect there. And it hasn't been smoking since. That residue has probably been sitting there for probably, I'd say, 2 months. So there's no problem with it at this point. I haven't had any problems. And this car has been at the track a number of times now with the turbo blanket. Haven't seen any issues with it. In fact, it's helped it quite a bit. So hopefully this video has been a little bit helpful. And I hope to chat with some of you guys soon.